May I have your attention, please? I'm Camilla Stasa, Senior Director of Participant Relations at Music for All, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2025 Music for All National Festival presented by Yamaha. Please welcome to the stage Senior Director of Education and Advocacy for Music for All, Mr. James P. Stevens.
Good afternoon. It is my honor to welcome you to Indianapolis and the 2025 Music for All National Festival presented by Yamaha. This marks our 32nd National Festival. Since its debut in 1992, America's finest scholastic concert bands, orchestras, percussion ensembles, chamber music ensembles, and choirs have gathered in one place for the singular purpose of making music. 2025 is a milestone year for Music for All. It is our 50th anniversary, 50 years of creating, providing, and expanding positively life-changing experiences through music. And we are so glad you are here to celebrate with us. Music, as you know, is a vital part of the human experience. There's a reason that music is part of every important moment in cultures around the globe, as well as our love of music in everyday life. Music education brings joy. We love performing together with our friends, and at the same time, when you play in an ensemble, you are gaining connection and purpose while also being personally responsible for your part within the group through practice and preparation. Your concerts this week represent a pinnacle moment of all of your hard work. This festival hopes to offer extraordinary performances in this environment that encourages musical risk-taking and growth for everyone involved. That's students, performers, educators. There are no scores or placings here. Being invited is itself recognition of your hard work and accomplishments. We are here together celebrating excellence. Congratulations on the achievement of being invited to perform at the 2025 Music for All National Festival. Absolutely. Today we begin our celebration of all that is magical and beautiful about making music together. The next few days, I encourage you to make it special and positively life-changing. On this 13th day of March, we are together nearly 3,000 strong. You've come from across America to be here representing a broad spectrum of our diverse culture, from coast to coast, representing 27 of these United States. What really makes you and this gathering special and unique is that we all share a language and love for two special things: music and making music together. This festival is also a vehicle for advocacy. Your performances are a statement of what national commitment to music education can produce and why it's vitally important to our communities and our nation. Indeed, you are in a city that welcomes you. You are here with an organization that respects and supports you. And now you are part of the Music for All family. We are committed to being a catalyst to ensure that every child across America has opportunity and access to participate in active music making in their scholastic environment. Your presence here is a part of that vision. Now, each of your performances will serve as an example for the nation of excellence being placed on the highest of pedestals. We are inviting the world to hear and see results of a commitment to music education. Think about it. Not only will you perform in concert halls full of your peers, but each and every festival concert is being live streamed for free online for all to enjoy and be inspired by, including this opening session. Hi, Mom. And now, what better way to open our 2025 festival than with some outstanding music? For nearly 30 years, Yamaha Corporation of America has been Music for All's national presenting sponsor. Yamaha is a committed partner in support of our mission and vision. Performing Peter Graham's Master of Suspense Concerto for Trumpet and accompanied on piano by Charles Manning, please welcome Yamaha performing artist Rex Richardson. We're having fun now. Wow. Thank you, Rex Richardson. Music for All is honored to have renowned educators and artists with us at the festival this week. And now it is my pleasure to introduce an artist who just recently last month released his third album. Please welcome composer, arranger, and Yamaha master educator, Omar Thomas.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Oh my gosh, there are a lot of you here. Holy crap. This is my first Music for All, so thank you all so much for having me. And if you've never heard me speak before, you know how important it is for me in these spaces to profess to you all that I am 100% a product of public school music education. So thank you to the educators in the room for all you do, for what you've given, and for not throwing me out of the band room when I was stealing your scores, which is a big part of my musical journey today. So what I want to do, because I don't have a lot of time with you, is I want to talk to you about 3 different episodes from my life that I think have contributed the most to the musician and the artist that I've become. And there's a through line through all of those episodes that I want to illuminate at the end. So the first episode I'd like to talk about is 8th grade for me when I was in middle school at Gauger Middle School in Newark, Delaware. And at this point, I'm just biding my time so that I could be in high school and be in marching band, because that was the goal. And that was the only thing that I ever wanted to do, was to be in marching band. So back in the day, a couple of publishing houses used to send these catalogs to the directors. I feel like now everybody's got an arranger in-house, or they have these shows kind of done for them. But back in the day, it was Hal Leonard, it was Arrangers Publishing Company, it was Warner Brothers. And so they'd send these catalogs out to your directors that had these CDs in them, because it was the mid-90s, right? And I would, lowercase b, borrow them from my high school, or from my middle school band director, and I would take them home and listen to them because I just couldn't wait to be a part of that. And so in my basement at home, we had a desktop compact Presario computer. It's okay if you don't know what that is, okay? A few of you do. It had the tower and the double CD-ROM and the monitor that was this big that weighed 20 pounds, whatever. On that computer was a program called Cakewalk Pro Audio. And that was a sequencing program that I used to reproduce everything that I was hearing by ear onto this program. Now, mind you, I was pretty good at rhythm when I was in middle school, but I had no formal theory training. So I didn't understand that a chord didn't have to be a triad stacked up this way. So what I would do is I would listen to the lowest note, I would input it, and then I would stack thirds on top and just move them around until they felt right. Yes, that's about as tedious as it could possibly be. But it didn't matter to me because I was having so much fun doing it, okay? And I did this through middle school and all the way through high school. Now, as you can imagine, starting this process, I was really, really, really wrong, But I didn't care because I was having a blast. So I was wrong, and then I was less wrong, I was kind of wrong, I was pretty okay, so it was not bad. This is pretty good. And then by the time I got to a senior in high school, I had arranged 2 shows by ear that I was extremely proud of and am still proud of to this day. The first one being the soundtrack to the movie Hook by John Williams. I did that by ear. Thank you. That's so kind of you. I did not pay him to clap. You don't have to clap. It's okay. The second one is a little less known, but for those of you in the room who are of a certain age, you might remember that around 1999, a British composer named Gavin Greenaway was commissioned to write the music for the Walt Disney World Millennium Celebration, which was like the big cadet show in 2000. So I arranged that by ear, and I was so proud of myself, right? What did all of that equal? Well, when I went to college at James Madison University and became Dukes, thank you. And I became a music ed major, I tested out of all 4 levels of ear training. I didn't realize that what I was doing for the last 5 years was ear training. I just knew that I was filling up floppy disks. It's okay if you don't know what those are either. I was filling up floppy disks with all of these transcriptions and arrangements and my own compositions that I was doing, having the time of my life. Okay? So that's the first episode. The second episode I want to talk about is also in middle school, where that was the first time that I had a jazz ensemble available to me. So I joined the jazz ensemble. It's my first time learning about chord symbols. I'm like, what is this major 9 thing? What is this 13 sharp whatever? This was all new to me, right? So my middle school director, Mr. Chepakaitis, was also my private trombone teacher. And so after school, about 2 or 3 times a week, he would give me these private lessons. And the only thing I really remember is that we would play duets out of the real book. Now, this is back in the 90s when the real book was illegal, so if you had one, it's kind of a big deal, okay? So those of you who don't know what the real book is, it's about 450 pages of lead sheets of jazz from the 20th century, okay? So what we would do is he would play the melody, and I would just play the roots of the chords. If it said C major 9, I just play C. If it said E7, I would just play E, because I didn't know what the rest of it meant. Okay? And then we would trade, and eventually I would start to pick up here and here how harmony moves and how to spell these chords. And that was invaluable to me. So now jump ahead 1 year. I'm now in high school, and I had a buddy of mine who was older. He was a junior. His name is James, and he had just successfully auditioned to be in the cymbal line of the Crossman Drum and Bugle Corps. Okay? So now, you might know Crossman as being based in San Antonio, Texas, but in the 90s, they were actually based in Allentown High School, and it just so happened that their camp season was at my high school. So I had a Division I drum corps that would have their camp season in my high school, which was the coolest thing to me. And that year, this is 1998, I believe, their show was a Metheny portrait. And so he handed me this CD, this Pat Metheny CD called The Road to You Live in Europe from 1992. He said, our entire show is from this record. Our opener is Third Wind, our ballad is Letter from Home, and our closer is this very alien piece to me at the time called First Circle. And those of you who know First Circle know what I'm talking about, right? And so I was like, cool. I listened to this CD. I had no idea what the hell I was listening to. I was like, what are all these synths? What is happening? What time signature is First Circle in? The answer is 22/8. I'm like, how do you march to that? This doesn't make any sense. I kind of threw the CD, and 8 months went by before I picked it up again. And I don't know what happened in my life in those 8 months, but when I went back and revisited that CD, I had a complete out-of-body experience to this music, and especially to First Circle, which became like my musical mantra for the next 20 years of my life. Okay, so it was like this amazing, actually the next thing that happened, which is important to note, I gotta keep track of my time, is that Hal Leonard released a book called the Pat Metheny Songbook. It was like 400 pages of all of this music from Pat Metheny's catalog. So I was omnivorous about that. That thing became my musical Bible. And any free moment that I had, I would sneak into the auditorium. Don't do this, by the way. I would sneak into the auditorium and I would play the grand piano. And I didn't have like formal piano training, but I had learned enough through my middle school time with Mr. C to kind of play through these chords. I was having the time of my life learning this music. And I didn't think that I was learning anything. I just knew that I loved these chords. I now knew what the time signature for first circle was, and I figured out what the harmony was, and that kind of shaped my musical language for the next 2 decades of my life. Put a pin in that. My third episode is when I went to college at JMU, and I was one of 2 incoming freshmen who made it into our top jazz ensemble. And I was very proud of myself. So when I was in high school, most of what we played were kind of these amazing published charts out of Hal Leonard. So you had like the Mike Tomorrow charts and the Mark Taylor charts. And as far as I knew, that's what big band was. But now I got to college, and my director, Chuck Dotis, is a writer from the Northeast Corridor. So he's putting music on the stand that blew my world apart. I had no idea what this music could be. And sitting in the middle of this ensemble as a trombone player, I'm listening to these harmonies, I'm taking everything in. After rehearsal, I'd run over to the piano player, I'd be like, hey, can I borrow your music really quick? I'm just gonna make a photocopy of it and I'll get it back to you, because I wanted to take a look at what was going on. I went up to Chuck, I said, Chuck, is there any more music that you have for me to check out? I'd go down to the music library and check out CDs. Mind you, this was 2000. We didn't have as much like universal access to music as you all do now. We actually had to go check out CDs. Sometimes we had to order them and it took 2 to 3 weeks to come. Y'all have it so easy, all right? And so I would go into the practice room. Remember, I am a trombone player. I'm a music ed major, trombone principal, which meant that I had trombone lessons and I had to give a trombone recital as a senior. So I'd go in, I'd play my long tones, I'd do my lip slurs, I'd play through a Bordoni or 2, and then I'd set down the trombone, I would sit at the piano, I would whip out this black binder that was full of staff paper and all of these lead sheets that I photocopied. And I would sit there and I'd play through these chords. I'd be writing my own music. An hour would go by, 2 hours would go by, 3 hours would go by. I'd turn around, look at my trombone, and it is just cold and angry and rejected, like, how dare you? I had a lesson the next day, so I would cram, you know? But I should have known then that writing was going to be my path, because I was just so omnivorous and joyful in the discovery, okay? And so I go back to jazz ensemble. Chuck says, so when are you gonna write a piece for us to play? I said, never, and let me tell you why. Because the music that you put on your stand is so incredible that I would never wanna write something to stand up against that. He stayed on me, I relented. 2 years later, I'm a junior. I write a big band piece, my first one called Dancing. Long story short, Dancing is track 3 off of my first album, I Am, that came out in 2011, which was #1 on the iTunes Jazz charts. My senior year, I wrote another piece, thank you. I wrote another piece called Gold Shoes. Gold Shoes was #2 on that album, okay? And where is all of this leading? Well, as you just heard, 6 weeks ago, I released our third big band album called Griot Songs to international acclaim, right? And as a matter of fact, track 5 on that record is a Pat Metheny, Lyle Mace transcription that I did in 2011. How did I do it? I put on the record and I sat down and I wrote the entire 9-minute tune by ear. Why was I able to do that? Because in 8th grade, I was stealing marching band CDs and doing that. Okay? The through line through all of this is that I didn't know that I was learning anything because joy was at the center of everything that I was doing. Joy is your best teacher. I'm sure your teachers are phenomenal in the room, no shade to y'all. Y'all are great, right? But when you are joyful about a thing, the sky is the limit for you. So your job as young musicians is to center joy in your practice. Do the things that you need to do, but also do the things in music that make you happy. And for those of you who decide to pursue this as a living, understand that that will complicate your relationship to art, okay? Because now it's something that you need to survive. It's something that comes with reputation, and it's something that comes with all of this doubt. And in those moments especially, you have to hang on to the joy that made you want to do this in the first place. Protect your joy. Fight for your joy. Center joy. While you're here at Music for All, making music with each other, center joy in the music making. Center joy in getting to know one another, okay? Joy is your greatest teacher, and it has served me very well. And just follow that through, and you will be fine. You will be fine. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Omar Thomas. It is truly an honor to have you with us and for you to share your joy with us this week. You know, some of the world's finest musicians perform on Yamaha wind, percussion, and string instruments, and we are thrilled to have one of those artists here with us next. Performing his unique arrangement of Gnarls Barkley's Crazy on electric violin, please welcome Yamaha performing artist Christian Howes. Thank you, Christian Howes. Wow. Music for All's commitments are rooted in education and the delivery of excellence. The Music for All staff is supported with the leadership and counsel of a distinguished national team of educational consultants. And our final speaker is one of those advisors. She's a teacher, clinician, conductor, author, president and CEO of RWS Music, Music for All educational consultant, and spectacular human being. Please welcome Susan Smith.
Good thing they put me after the slackers, huh? Woo! Oh my goodness. Weren't they all awesome? Just fantastic. Yeah, as you can tell, we do it right here, for sure. But this room is far too quiet for me, for a bunch of high school and middle school people. So I need you to first introduce yourself to someone around you. If you already know them, tell them something awesome about them. Simon says go. All right, wrap it up, wrap it up. Awesome. Now I feel better. It's like we're in the band and orchestra room now. So welcome. As everyone has said, it's a privilege to be here, to be with you, and for you to perform here. It's been a lot of hard work for you, your directors, your parents, your schools who have funded you being here, and it is a privilege. That's why we have you dress up. That's why we know in moments like this that you're not on your phone, that you're sitting up, because you are the best of the best of the best, and you expect the best of yourself. Oh, did I just call you out? Oh, I'm sorry. It might be I'm a mom and a band director, so, you know, I see and hear everything. You want to be in the moment. So you're going to see me around a lot, and I would love to meet all of you, but I can't. So, but you're going to get to meet me. So everybody say, hi, Susan. Yeah, and that's what this is my shtick. Those of you who've been here before, who's been here before? Yeah, you've heard it. So I'm going to expect to hear that from you all week long. Sometimes it'll be like, Susan, Sarah, what is her name? Oh my gosh, I can't remember. But I would want for you to say hello to me as you go by. And that's what I want you to do to those people who you go by in the hallways as well. No one wants to be invisible. And we have name tags so you can say hello to them. So make sure that you're making eye contact and you're making someone else's day better because you have that power to do that. So last year, I shared a little bit about myself. I've been involved with Music for All since 1988. I was a swag at James Madison University, go Dukes. He was drum major of the marching band, that man right there, Omar Thomas, go Dukes. Yeah, me too, but he's much more famous than me. So since 1988, I've been involved either as a band director, a mom of 2 kids who went through summer camp, as we call it now, and the Rose Parade, and just everything we possibly could, because I believe in this. I believe in the opportunity to have a positively life-changing effect on other people, and this is what this organization does every day. It's not just a term, it's just not a phrase, it's what they actually do here. So I shared last year a little bit about my husband, Robert, who had just recently passed away. Robert W. Smith passed away September 23rd of 21st of 23. And a lot of you have probably played his music in the band and orchestra classrooms. How many of you have ever played a piece by Robert W. Smith? The Tempest, all of this stuff. And so, oh yeah, The Tempest, that got you right there. That's the one. But Robert was really sure in who he was, and he was my best friend. And as positive optimists, we never thought about that bad things happening. We never talked about it. We never had the opportunity to do that because we thought we had time. We thought we had time for those things, and we really didn't. So in an instant, everything changed. I've always learned about leadership from this organization, Dr. Tim and all the folks, but in the moment, I had to be a leader of my family, a business that I knew about 5% about how to run, of myself, my husband's students. All of a sudden, all these people were looking to me to be a leader. And it was the most trying times in a lot of ways because I didn't get a chance to grieve in that moment. but I realized that I'm stronger than I thought I was and that I could do more than I thought and have an effect. So every day, thank you. So all of you have an opportunity to lead. You don't have to have a title to lead. It's called everyday leadership. Am I making the right choice? Am I wearing the right things? Am I wearing pajamas to breakfast, or am I wearing my business casual? Am I making eye contact with people? Am I elevating? And am I sitting up in a concert and paying attention to these people that have spent a lot of time preparing, or am I sleeping on my phone? Every day you get a choice. Snap your fingers. Do it again, better than that. Snap your fingers loud. It's just that easy. You can choose your attitude, and you can choose who you want to be in that moment and those decisions that you make. And that's how you lead, and we all lead ourselves every day. So think about someone that you admire, a leader, and the qualities they exude, and you can be a leader by elevating the moment in the same way. You know, Susan doesn't really like complainers. I know you can't imagine that. I can't hardly see you, but I'm going to do this. I love complainers. No, I don't. I like to complain about complainers. Something's going to go wrong this week. The bus is going to be late. You're going to lose your bow. You're going to forget something. And you can either complain about it, or you can be part of the solution rather than part of the problem. So think constantly, are you being part of the solution, or are you adding to the problems? So last year, for those of you who were here, I asked you to do four things. Susan, four things. I asked you first to make sure that you were leaning into the moment, that you were taking advantage of it, that you were open to the moment, that you were getting rid of this veneer that we middle schoolers and high schoolers have. And I'm not talking about teeth, right? I'm talking about that exterior that we don't let people into because we're so afraid of who we might be or how they might hurt us. I ask you to value this moment because there is nothing else in the world like this experience you're about to have. And you will get out of it what you put into it. So I encouraged you last year to value the moment, and I asked you to elevate the moment, to make it even bigger and better. We're not just at MPA, we're not just another band trip, we are at the National Festival. So I asked you to elevate that. This year, I want you to think a little bit more about how you spend your time. Because as I told you, that time can be fleeting. You know, sometimes as we grow older, our perspective changes. When you're in elementary school, you can only think about yourself as a baby. Me, 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 me. Me, 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 me. There's no choir people here. That joke wouldn't go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the mercy laughs. Thank you all. So you can only think of I got it. We all in elementary school choir, right? But you can only think about yourself. As you get into middle school, elementary school, middle school, your eyes start widening a little bit. High school, and you get up into college, you start realizing, wow, it's not just about me. There are other people around me. So I encourage you during this time that you look to your perspective. My good friend Kick would always have us do this. We're going to do it. Everybody put your hand up in the air. Go around in a circle clockwise. Oh, don't hit someone next to you. Go clockwise. Bring it down around in front of you and look down at it. Let's go in a different way now. Ooh, Susan magic. Do it again. Do it again. Clockwise. Counterclockwise. And the only thing that changed was your perspective. Yeah, good. Thanks. And so in the time, you're going to have some opportunities this week to change your perspective on things. And my perspective certainly changed after Robert passed away. In his speeches, he would always spell things out. And I thought it was kind of silly. But now I realize he spelled it out so he would remember what he was saying. He didn't ever have to have a notebook like Susan does. But that first in time, I want you to think about being tenacious in your pursuit of excellence. You don't wake up in the morning and go, oh, I think I'll be mediocre today. Wow, let's go. Right? Some of you might. I don't know. But I don't. And how are you constantly looking for that excellence? Your teachers certainly have because they're here. Your parents have, your school system. All these teachers have certainly done that. Mr. Morrison in the back, Mr. Raghavan from Florida. All these teachers that are in the room. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I got you. They have been tenacious and not given up. Sometimes when people are talented and musical and or gifted, they give up quickly. But you have to be tenacious about your time. You have to be inquisitive. That's what Omar was talking about. Wouldn't it be great if you want to learn about something, what do? You Google it, right? Or you go to YouTube, or you go to TikTok, right? I love the donkey with the squeaky toys. I don't know if you do. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. You're going to Google it after this. I am on TikTok. My children decided the reels I was watching was too old, and Mom needed to get on TikTok, and it's addictive for sure. But think about That's my teacher trick there. Did you see that? Think about if all of your learning was like that. You know, we always want to take phones away, and I don't think it's a phone problem. I think that it's a behavior management problem, right? Because if you want to know about something, you're going to go down that hole of finding out about something. And that's how you want to be about music. And that's how you want to be this week. When you learn something, all three of those people that you saw up here are doing masterclass, or not masterclass, we don't call it anymore, workshops. So you're going to have an opportunity maybe to talk to them and be inquisitive, or talk to a judge, or thank somebody for what it is that they've given you. And you have an opportunity for it to be meaningful. You're going to get out of this experience what you put into it. If you walk around like clueless in your behavior or in your perspective, it's not going to be very meaningful for you. Sometimes we get so wrapped up in those kinds of things that it's not meaningful. I remember vividly when my husband was inducted in the DCI Hall of Fame, I was more worried about where everybody was sitting than experiencing the moment. And I would take anything, give anything, to have that moment back. So you want to make sure this week is meaningful as possible, and that's what you make it. And then I want you to know that you have the power to empower people around you. You can lift up those teachers, those people that are helping you come into the hall, or the people that you're walking by. You could say, wow, that solo was just great. You have that strength to empower the people next to you. And I want you to make sure that you're using that week, we're using that this week, that you're empowering the people around you and that you're lifting them up. Because there are people that did that for me. Gary Markham said, why don't you run the Chamber Festival? And I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about right now. Dr. Tim said, hey, you got this. Jason Robb said, I want you to be the education coordinator of the Madison Scouts. James Stevens said, I want you to talk in front of 3,000 people. Ah! Turns out I can do it okay, sort of, ish. Especially in front of Peter Boonshaft. The best of the best of the best, right? But I want you to think about this one last story. And if you've never heard it, it's the story of the starfish. Two people walking down the beach. My daughter told this story at my husband's funeral. Walking down the beach, and they see something terrible has happened, and there's starfish all over the beach. And the man picks up one starfish and throws it back into the ocean. And the person with him said, you can't possibly save all of them. It doesn't mean anything if you can't save all of them. He said, no, it means something to that one starfish. So every day you have an opportunity to save a starfish, to see someone who's sitting by themselves, or help someone who's dropped their mouthpiece yet again, can't find their music. You can shame them or you can help them. So I want you to think about being tenacious, inquisitive, meaningful, and empowering. How are you going to spend your time? Are you going to make an impact on the people around you? As my friend Scott Sheehan says, you don't have to wait to be great. Omar Thomas didn't wait to be great. He started listening. Nobody taught him how to do that. He just found out how to do it on his own. And how will you make a positively life-changing event for the people around you? As I said, you don't have to wait for the people around you to make it great. You can make it great. Have a great week. Make sure you say hi to Susan. See y'all. Love you. Thank you.
I love Susan Smith. Thank you, Susan. The Music for All National Festival is, in fact, several national festivals gathered together in one place. Festival concerts are in different venues across the city, and you'll have the opportunity to work with some of the finest educators in the world this week. Here's what's going to be cool. At this time, I'm going to ask each different festival team of evaluators, clinicians, staff, our MCs, to please join me up here on stage as we recognize each group, and then I want you also to stand and be recognized at your moment in time. So listen closely, I'll tell you when. So will the clinicians and evaluators for the Chamber Music National Festival please join me on stage right now? Come on up here, don't be shy. Front and center, as they say, Chamber Music National Festival. staff, clinicians, evaluators, and now let's please stand in the audience and be recognized the performers of the Chamber Music National Festival. Please stand. With our clinicians, Chamber Music National Festival. All right, students, you may be seated. You guys stay up here. Stay up here. This is going to be cool. We're going to now bring up here on stage with me the evaluators, clinicians, and staff of the National Percussion Festival. Please join me up here. These guys are great. Front and center, as they say. Under the leadership of the wonderful Bill Galvin. And now students of the National Percussion Festival, please rise. And let's hear it for all of the students of the Sandy Feldstein National Percussion Festival. Thank you, percussion students. You may be seated. And now I would like to invite the clinicians, evaluators for the Orchestra America National Festival to join me on stage. And yes, we're clapping already. And here's the thing. They might not be in this room right at the moment because as soon as Christian Howes performed, I saw them get up and go leave and practice or something. I don't know what happened. But I know they're around here someplace. But if they're here in the room anywhere, come on up. But regardless, the students that represent the 2025, the largest Orchestra America National Festival to date, please stand, students. Look at them. So glad you're here. And now want to have coming up here, please, the Middle School National Concert Band Festival, the Concert Band Festival middle school students. The clinicians are going to join us up here. Clinicians, evaluators, and our MC. And students, teachers, parents that represent the Middle School Concert Band Festival, please stand at this time. All right, thank you, middle school students. You may be seated. And now will the clinicians and evaluators for the high school National Concert Band Festival please join us on stage. We're getting roomy, we're getting cozy. There's room for everybody. The 32nd Annual National Concert Band Festival. Students, parents, and teachers that represent that group, please stand at this time. And let's see you and celebrate you. And now, please, will the clinicians providing those student workshops you heard Susan mention earlier on topics from practice tips to music composition to recording film soundtracks, that staff, please come up and join us. You're going to see them at some point. Every student will see this team. And lastly, let's please bring the conductors and staff for the 2025 Honor Band of America and Jazz Band of America. They started rehearsing yesterday. They're sounding great already. We're excited for your Saturday evening concerts. They're coming on up right now, the conductors and staff of the Honor Band of America, the Jazz Band of America, and those students please stand at this time. No, don't go anywhere yet. Don't go anywhere yet. Before I ask these icons of our profession to go away, no, to go sit back down and get ready for receiving you and bringing you some just great musical moments. Look at these incredible people. the world-class artists and educators that I'm kind of geeking out here. I have the pleasure of being up here on this stage with them. Some people that I've known for years, some people that this is their first Music for All National Festival. This team right here is incredible. Take a look. It's like a picturesque moment. It would be better if I was out of the picture, but nonetheless, yeah. I mean, think about this. If a meteor fell out of the sky right now and hit Indianapolis, it would probably put music education back by 30 years because of them and you all being here, right? Let's be honest. So one more time, let's hear it for this incredible group. Thank you, guys. Thank you. And now you may break ranks. Everybody here, yep, the clap still works, doesn't it? All right, students, thank you and everyone in this hall for being with us, for choosing to be here with us in Indianapolis. I want to thank our sponsors, led by Yamaha, for supporting this festival and all that we do. Students, let every performance and every word from every clinician resonate with you. You are in rarefied air this week. And students, please don't forget to say thank you. Take the time to do that to your teachers, your parents, principals, administrators, everybody back home when you get back. Everybody who helped you in the ability to get here. Everyone who helped you, we understand that it takes a community. It's your community. So please don't forget to thank your community when you return. And while you're here, may I please ask that we protect each other. Take care to choose to do nothing that will invite criticism while we're together. And choose instead to do all things that inspire compliments, admiration, and appreciation. And most importantly, students, decide to have a wonderful, memorable, positively life-changing experience, because after all, this is your festival. In a moment, I'll dismiss everyone so that you can move to your next events as we close our opening session. Once again, I want to say welcome to Indianapolis and thank you for being here at the Music for All National Festival. If I may, let's do this. Can we first dismiss the groups that are performing this evening? Please allow the West Springfield High School Wind Symphony from Virginia and the William Mason High School Wind Symphony from Ohio. Please leave first. Everybody else, stay seated. So that's West Springfield and William Mason. Stay with me, everybody. We're going to get them out of here first. And then where are these folks? Where are these fine folks? Keller Middle School and Red Oak Middle School. You guys are going to the festival workshops over through the Union Station doors, under the bridge on Illinois Street. So Keller Middle School, where are you? Red Oak Middle School. We're going to have you guys exit out here next. Everybody else, just sit tight for just a moment. And Patrick, maybe help lead this. Let's have the Honor Band of America and the Jazz Band of America. You guys are going to rehearsal next, so let's get you guys smoothly and safely out of here. Honor Band of America and Jazz Band of America. We are so excited to hear your Saturday evening concert.